People say that Africa has bigger problems, but what about the communities that are entirely dependent on travel in the first place? So if you asked me 10 years ago if I'd be doing or running a tech company, I don't think I'd be doing that. I didn't think I would be doing that, actually. So I was born in Dandora phase 5 to a single mom. And then in 2007, I think we all remember the post-election violence that happened in Kenya, where we had to move to Lamu, which was one of the safe places that you could basically find yourself in. And I think that is where I started interacting with travel, because the only thing that you can basically do around Lamu is travel. So we had a small business. I came down and decided I wanted to become a lawyer, an activist of some sort. To some extent, I'm glad I'm not doing that right now. And while I was going through that, I think one of the challenges that we basically faced where I was living was access to essential goods and services. So we started a company called a remote youth venture, where we basically provided essential services using a buy now, pay later model. And that turned into a fully fledged company where we ended up winning several awards, which allowed us to scale our operations. I also got a chance to work under some incredible people. I think one of them called CEO. And at some point, we decided to turn the company into an NGO, and I'm not a fan of nonprofits. So that is when I made my exit, and I started traveling a lot. And I think when I was traveling, I started seeing certain things that were not necessarily being done right, especially when it comes to travel or certain services that we could provide. And so I turned my house into an Airbnb of some sort, and I started helping people set up their own units, and that turned into my second company. And in 2019, we lost our family business. And I think that is where Tripitaka, now Triply, basically came into play, where we basically asked ourselves, can we solve for African travel businesses where they have been neglected for a very long time? People say that Africa has bigger problems, but what about the communities that are entirely dependent on travel in the first place? And that is how I started my tech journey.